So today we have a comparison video of MXGP 2020 and Supercross 4. Now the first thing I want to say is that Supercross 4 is in alpha. We did do a few videos on it and it obviously could change, but for right now this is how it is, so I wanted to compare them because you guys haven't played Supercross 4 yet, but in my opinion, Supercross 4 and MXGP 2020 are pretty similar. Not exactly, because I mean MXGP 2020 is outdoors, so it is a bit different. The physics are very similar, but maybe a tiny bit toned down, simply because it is an outdoor game. But the overall handling of the bike, the way it feels, the way the game plays is very, very similar. And I suppose that's why I like it. Now, I did get a few comments. I got specifically one comment on my social media. They went out of their way to make sure I saw it, but they said that I needed to apologize for liking MXGP 2020, and I'm not going to do that because I do like the game. I actually enjoy it more than 2019, and I know some of you guys don't feel that way, and that's perfectly fine. Not everybody's gonna enjoy the same games, but I actually like MXGP 2020. I feel like Supercross 4, the way the physics are, it works better in that game than it does in MXGP 2020, but overall I enjoy both versions of the game. So what I'm trying to say is that, in my opinion, now if you play Supercross 4 and the game is subject to change because it is alpha, you might, if you don't like MXGP 2020, you might not like Supercross 4, is what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to be real with you. I mean, the game, again, could change, but I assume it probably will be very similar, if not identical, to the way it is now. I mean, there might be a few small, subtle changes, but for the most part, I expect it to be pretty much how it is here in the alpha. I guess since you guys haven't played Supercross 4, MXGP 2020 would be the closest thing you could play to playing Supercross 4, is what I'm trying to say. And I do show you some first-person comparison, and that was a bit tougher because I couldn't, the way the new first-person cam is, it doesn't really fit on the split screen here very good, but we do show you at the very end. And those cameras are identical. They're virtually the same. I can't really see any difference between them, which is good because you guys seem to enjoy the first-person cam, the new changes, so I'm glad. So I'm pretty happy they put that in 2020. Maybe that's why it didn't come out right away. Maybe they saw that you guys were happy with the first person in Supercross 4, so they decided to implement that into 2020. Maybe that's why it didn't come out right away when the game released, but we don't really know for sure. That's just speculation. And the biggest complaint I have, I mean, I know some of you guys that don't enjoy this game probably have a ton of complaints, and if you do, put them in the comments of this video and we can have a discussion about it, but the part I don't like about MXGP 2020 versus Supercross 4 is that the camera, in 2020, I have the camera in the custom camera spot, so it's pulled back a bit farther. It kind of bobbles around in a weird way, kind of juggles around in a I don't know, a weird way, but the close camera feels too close and it feels too low. Like, it feels like the angle has to be higher in 2020. Maybe that's just me, but I do not like the default third-person camera, and that is a pretty big difference. The bike sounds are the same. We're using a pair of Kawasaki's here, and they do sound identical, so I'll probably stop talking at the very end here so you can hear it and have a sound comparison, but they are the same sound, so they, from Supercross 4 to MXGP 2020. And again, the physics are maybe a bit toned down because it is an outdoor game versus a versus a Supercross game. So I just wanted to make this video because I know some of you guys don't enjoy MXGP 2020, and I mean, I'm assuming none of you guys have played Supercross 4 because it was alpha and we got early access to it. So just to give you a better idea of how Supercross 4 plays, but I can't stress it enough that I feel like Supercross 4, the physics, even if they are similar, play much better in Supercross 4 over MXGP 2020. Now, I know some of you guys had been saying that the way the bike corners is weird. You'll do like a 180 when you're trying to hit the inside rut, and that does happen to me sometimes. I guess it doesn't feel like it does it as easy in Supercross 4. It doesn't feel like it does that 180, or the cornering is as, I guess, wonky sometimes. I mean, for the most part, I don't have a problem with the cornering in 2020, but I know some of you guys were talking about that. It just feels like the physics they use in 2020 were meant for Supercross 4, and they didn't change it that much for 2020. You know what I mean? So I don't have a problem with it, again, because I enjoy Supercross 4, and I played Supercross 4 before 2020, so it didn't, you know, I wasn't like completely shocked when I played 2020, and you guys didn't, so I can see where MXGP 2020 was a big change from 2019. And if you enjoyed 2019, I didn't think it was a bad game. I just didn't, I preferred 2020 over it. So this first person camera angle is in replay, so the sound is really quiet, and that's why our first person gameplay is a bit better, because I've said many times I'm not a first person player. So I mean, we could have done it, but I feel like it was more consistent for comparison's sake to do it in replay mode, so we didn't make as many mistakes, we weren't crashing as much, and just the gameplay is a bit better this way, I guess. So let me know in the comments how you guys feel about it, how you feel about MXGP 2020, your thoughts on the comparison between the two games here, if you're worried about Supercross 4, if they feel the same, or if you're excited for it because you enjoy MXGP 2020 like I do. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.